Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're stepping right onto the pitch for a high-energy coaching clinic. We're going to break down the precise mechanics of one of the most crucial, dynamic, and frankly, misunderstood skills in all of football, the header. Whether you're lacing up your boots for the very first time or you're a seasoned player just looking to refine your technique, understanding the biomechanics and the fundamental safety rules of this move is absolutely essential. So get ready to take some mental notes as we break this whole thing down piece by piece. Here's the game plan for today's session. 1. Football fundamentals. 2. The art of heading. 3. 3 heading variations. And 4. Practice makes perfect. Let's dive right in. Section 1. Football fundamentals, setting the stage. Now, when you think of a football match, a specific number probably jumps right into your head, right? But if we actually look at the rule book for this particular format, a full matchday squad is exactly 15 players. So how does that break down? Well, out of those 15, you've got your 11 active players out on the pitch. And crucially, just one of those 11 is your designated goalkeeper, the only player who gets to use their hands inside the penalty area. The rest of the squad, which includes your 3 primary reserves, well, they're sitting ready to sub in the second the coach needs to change the game's dynamic or maybe just swap out a tired player. Moving right along to Section 2, the art of heading, precision and safety. Okay, let's start with a crystal clear definition here. Heading the ball is a really deliberate technique where a player strikes the dead center of the ball using specifically the front part of their forehead. And guys, that microscopic detail is literally everything. You aren't using the top of your head, the side, or your face. You're using the thickest, flattest bone of the forehead to make contact right in the middle of the ball's mass. All right, I'm going to drop the energy just slightly here because we really need to talk about safety. Improper heading technique carries a severe risk of injury. Period. If you close your eyes, if you use the wrong part of your head, or if your neck isn't stabilized, you can seriously get hurt out there. Mastering this specific technique isn't just about scoring some flashy goals or making great passes. It is fundamentally about protecting yourself on the pitch. So, let's walk through the exact biomechanical sequence of a perfect standing header. Step 1, completely non-negotiable. Your eyes absolutely must remain totally focused on the ball all the way to the point of impact. Step 2, position your feet wide apart to create a really solid base of balance. Step 3, and honestly, this is the real secret to generating safe power, you have to bend your upper body backwards like a drawn bow. And finally, step 4, you release that tension, snapping your body and head forward to strike the ball cleanly. Take a look at this illustration. Notice how the player perfectly captures that exact bow posture we were just talking about? Look closely at the foot placement. They're firmly planted a bit more than shoulder width apart to keep that balance. Check out the arms, too. The hands are positioned slightly ahead of shoulder level, kind of acting like a counterbalance. And look at that curved spine, leaning back, totally primed to transfer all that kinetic energy straight through the forehead and right into the ball. All right, Section 3. 3 heading variations. Dynamic gameplay. Now, depending on the ball's trajectory, its height, and just the general chaos of the game, like, say, whether you've got a massive defender breathing down your neck, players will generally execute a header in one of 3 distinct ways. You've got your foundational standing position, heading with a jump, and for those real do-or-die situations, heading with a dive. Here's a quick look at the standing header in action. Like we said, this is your foundational starting point. Once you've got that solid base, that drawn bow posture, and the clean forehead strike, you can powerfully direct the ball exactly where you want it to go, whether that's driving it straight forward, angling it out to the left wing, or just flicking it over to the right. But what happens when the ball is crossed in high? Well, you've got to add verticality by heading with a jump. What I absolutely love about this is that the core mechanics actually don't change. They just elevate. You have to perfectly time your leap to meet the ball at its highest accessible point. And while you're midair, you are still executing that exact same foundational bow mechanic, leaning back and snapping forward, generating all that power without any help from the ground. And then, of course, we have the dramatic diving header. You see this used for extreme reach when a ball is zipping in fast and low and you literally just can't get your feet there in time. Notice how the player's body extends completely parallel to the ground. It looks totally chaotic, but trust me, it's highly controlled. Even in this horizontal dive, the eyes remain glued to the ball, and the player is deliberately leading with the front of the forehead to make safe, accurate contact. Moving on to our final section. Section 4, practice makes perfect, drills and muscle memory. Okay, so knowing the mechanics is one thing, right? But to actually pull off a safe header in a split second during a live match, you've got to build these precise movements into your muscle memory. If you're a beginner, you definitely want to start completely solo to build up that confidence. For your very first drill, literally just take the ball in both hands and gently press it against your forehead. Memorize exactly where that contact point feels, right on the front of your head. Once you've got that dialed in, give the ball a soft toss just above your own head. As it comes down, don't jump, just practice dropping into that backward bow stance and striking it cleanly with your forehead as it falls. Now, once you've got that solo rhythm down, the natural next step is to grab a partner. Start out with your friend standing about 5 meters away. Have them throw the ball in a nice, gentle arc just above your head level, and you practice heading it right back into their hands. As your accuracy gets better, you close that distance, scoot into about 3 meters apart, and start a rapid back and forth heading volley. This drill is fantastic because it deeply tests your reflexes, your eye tracking, and it forces you to instantly reset your balance. Well, we've covered the numbers, the biomechanics, the variations, and some really great drills. But as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one vital question, something you need to ask yourself every single time you step onto that pitch. If you had to remember just one single thing from this entire session, are your eyes totally focused on the ball right up to the very moment of impact? Because honestly, remembering to keep those eyes open and locked in, that's not just about accuracy. It is absolutely the most critical safety factor in protecting yourself out there. Keep your eyes on the ball, master that bow posture, and go practice safely. Catch you next time.